Why am I having a hard time to meet real relationship? I am 37, a woman, no kids, no weird ties to toxic exes. I have spent the last few years single, and sober. After stopping being a regular at my college bar, I focused on my dreams. And on getting my professional life going. I got into some really rad hobbies, putting on a zine fest. Attending lots of local music shows, co-hosting a radio show. Doing open mic poetry, starting a writer's group. Taking dance classes, yoga, running 6 miles a day every day for a month. I landed a couple of really awesome professional gigs. And a long-term role at a community college. I increased my income by about $30K a year. I really went balls to the wall. I worked so hard on myself. And didn't just say yes to guys in the first couple of years. Because I wasn't ready to date. Now that I am having a heck of a time finding anyone. And especially anyone else who has themselves remotely together. I have tried online dating, it's not for me. My question is if anyone has ideas to meet single guys. Where would I find them? I've volunteered quite a bit and met tons of people. But never anyone looking for a real relationship. My friends and family appreciate that I have better boundaries. I'm talking guys that would take my money, my time, and my dignity. So when I am told to check if I am picky, part of me thinks maybe being picky is important too. I used to take whatever love I could get. And there is real joy in discernment. Real joy in finding out what you want before looking. But now that I know what I want, finding it has been quite difficult. Male. 33. The only thing that seems feasible to me is skewing younger on my options. I actually don't outright disqualify due to kids. But if it's impossible to get the time and effort in for things to go anywhere, it's not gonna go anywhere. Seems to happen when there's kids involved. Like, I get the kids are important. But if you want to date and want something to go somewhere, you need to be able to arrange time in your schedule to do that. Seems too difficult in many cases. This was actually a really inspiring story. And I highly suspect things will work out for you. You've got a lot going for you. I don't have any answers though. I suspect you'll find a lot of men who don't have your drive. Have you tried a paid dating app or service? You might be able to filter out some of the men who won't match well with you. My therapist says I am a unicorn and to not give up. There aren't a lot of men with my drive. And I really gave those slacker type guys a chance. But found it was way too incompatible. I tried Tinder, Hinge, Bumble and Match. I had good luck in the past on Match. And have been thinking about doing a paid version for some time. I thought investing my time would be enough. But sometimes I get so exhausted by the messaging. And need to pretend I care right off the bat about complete strangers. Enough to ask them about their day. And make small talk. I don't care. It sounds terrible as only adding to my trouble. But I can't feign enthusiasm for people I don't know. I still have some work to do. Honestly, you sound like a phenomenal person who will have a lovely relationship with an equally mature guy. I'm surprised at some of the dumb comments here. Yes. All the small talk is exhausting. And the swiping and the judgments. I'm always happier when I'm off dating apps, haha. I haven't actually tried any of the paid dating apps. But I feel like putting in a monetary investment gives you a slightly higher chance of finding a man with a secure income. And maybe there will be less small talk with the slacker types. Good luck. Where do you live? A university town. Lots of new people all of the time. But lots of people leaving all the time as well. I thought I might be a lifer here, but have been considering relocating to a city more focused on professional life or family. I'm same age, male, same qualities, bought a house out in the suburbs about 10 years ago. It's just far enough where I feel if I don't go out in earnest I'll remain single. So it looks like I'll be starting my 40s. How I should have started my 30s. I have been looking into buying my first house. I am hoping to do so, and then get a dog. And maybe that will be enough. Wishing you luck in your life, enjoy this time. Hopefully you meet someone who can only add to it. I kinda agree with moving. Sometimes places aren't conducive to what you want out of life. Or what success means. It isn't always fair too. Other than that, maybe re-examine your expectations. I've had people in a previous life surprise me with what they are able to do with a push. Others, well, you can lead a horse to water. You make a good point. I don't disregard men based on their work or low income. It's more about stability for me. I worked very hard to get to where I am at. And expect a guy to be able to support himself. The way I can support myself. He doesn't have to support me. I got me. But he has to be able to hold it down for himself. And that is incredibly difficult to find with guys in my area. Unfortunately, that does depend very heavily on area and availability of good jobs. I think people who value that either lucked into where they are or moved to it. The women who I've known who had a lot of trouble, worked in a majority women field, were more based on personality and expectations. The ones who were more successful tended to have other things going on that helped them meet people. Coffee shops, but you gotta be quick on your feet. The real men are in line. We don't lounge too often at a coffee shop. We usually have work to do, hence the coffee. Or we'd be at home. So when you see someone you like, make sure to spark up conversation. And coming from a man, it would be a fresh breath of air. Seeing assertive women hit me up so confidently. Also grocery stores. Good point on the lounging. I am usually doing work at coffee shops. It's hard for me to go to bars because I am alone and don't drink. I did meet a lot of guys at punk shows, but that was a bust. You make a good point about pricier places. I dunno, maybe I will take myself to a steakhouse and sit at the bar or something. For a woman, I think it's perfectly fine to be still lounging. And doing work at a coffee shop. As a man, it changes. I'd rather sit in my car if I can't go home. My mother met her husband, my stepdad, at a bar her friend worked at. My aunt met her husband online, my other walking into a store. I think you just have to be open that a good person can be anywhere. Also, through your hobbies, do you have friends that can give you a hookup? Maybe outings with other singles. And if all fails, it doesn't hurt to try online. You have to be open to maybe getting out your comfort zone. Dating is a little harder with the pandemic too. So don't feel bad. Thank you. I agree. We also had a few major natural disasters around here. That really put a wrench in some things. Including a date that get cancelled due to all of us having to flee the area. I guess I can give online another shot. I get too many guys who are poly. And I am wired for monogamy. It kinda bums me out. Why are you not introducing yourself to guys at open mic poetry nights? At the writers group? Dance class or yoga? If there are no suitable guys there, make friends with at least one lady and mention you're newly single. And see how fast the word gets around. And they try to fix you up. We can't help it. If you're in a university town, where do the teachers/professors hang out after work? You are already in places where compatible men should be. Is it a forest/trees thing? Online can also work if you use the right filters for contact. Enjoy. I met church guy at open mic. He was too clingy. Men in my writing group were all either married or gay. And yoga is actually Bikram yoga. So I am about dead at the end of it. But I am trying. I actually met some nice women. But only because we all cooled down together after in the locker room. As for professors, I work at a college. But have had difficulty meeting people who aren't already in relationships. I'm not trying to make excuses, just telling you my experience so far. If you want to catch fish, you have to go to where there is fish. Female friend of mine joined a yacht club, full of wealthy divorced guys. Perhaps you're not getting the most out of those events. Letting people you know you're single is a good idea. Can you extend some of those friendships beyond yoga? For example, gaining a good social circle is important. And I feel, as a female, you're certain to get asked out from people in those groups. Happens all the time in my friend group. Wide array of people with different characters coming and going all the time. My guess is though, that because you've been purposefully avoiding dating for a few years, due to time constraints, focusing on career, then you didn't have much time for friends either. Maybe you're not meeting many new suitable partners, because you've been neglecting to nurture your social circle. Depending on the size of your town, meetup might be a good option. Do you want the potential person you're looking for to also be sober? I know for me, it's a pretty big requirement. So that seems to limit not only the pool of eligibility, but also a pretty common way of meeting people, bars and such. Also, your right, apps are a bummer. I think the fact that you have a bunch of things going for you, hopefully that will attract other people that also are doing positive things. Sometimes it helps to just stay positive and know things will work out the exact way they are supposed to. Good luck, fellow single. Wow, just saw on your other post you're 3 years sober. That's awesome. I celebrated 3 years in July. You are a miracle. All those hobbies and you haven't met any suitable dudes? I don't know what to tell you other than let people in your circle know that you're looking and maybe they can help you. Swipe right. Sounds like you're a catch. Here is the best advice anyone can ever receive about meeting people. You see a guy, anywhere, say hey, what's up? Talk at the train station, the gym, all these classes you've attended, gas station. If you want to meet a guy, you'll have to talk to them. Just as guys need to talk to girls. Some people I've met were at swimming pool, gym, bus, train station, train ride, pool hall, sporting event, restaurant. Note, I went to all of these by myself. I don't care what others think of me. If I want to meet someone, I open my mouth and talk. There is always something to say. You write with wit, so your conversation should not dry. There are 3.5 billion men out there, 20% in age range suitable for you, 700M. Let's says 10% are single, that's 70M. Using this simple metric, 1% of PPL are available. You live in a university town, so at least 100k PPL, likely more. As university needs larger population to succeed. So at 1,000 men would meet your match. And these numbers are underrepresented too. So, talk to anyone, you don't know what will come of it. It sounds to me you would care about social status too much while finding yourself a date. Probably you want someone who has better status than you. But then you are missing out on a lot of nice guys who might not have their shit together yet. Lower her standards? No one likes to babysit a partner. My ex's then girlfriend called me up furious, saying I had done everything for him. He was stupid and did not know how to do anything on his own. He also lost his shit once he didn't have me to help him keep it together. Tragic, really, he never did get it back. He's living on his mom's couch, working for pennies at a low-skilled job. Complete opposite of his life before. I wasted so much of my life on someone who did not have their shit together. I would not recommend that to anyone. It's not fair. It breeds resentment. And when women marry down, their lives spiral down the drain. Unfortunately, they don't bring the man up. He brings her down. Lots of articles and studies on the very subject. Falling for nice and hoping he would get better did not work for 25 years. Should have cut bait way before that. I was also told so by my mum 8 months ago. She introduced a man of 48 to me, telling me he's successful. mature and won't play with my feelings, and he's coming for marriage. So he proposed and we fixed our white wedding. And later on, he cancelled everything after taking advantage of my body. After he got what he wanted. I was really pissed off. I really do believe in successful men. But I also believe that they easily fuck up. And I believe the right person will come one day sooner or later. It's just time. The only thing that works the same for every single person is gravity. Can you offer a little bit more about your criteria? It sounds like you are meeting men based on some of your comments. But they aren't fitting your target. I am all in favor of being picky. I am picky enough that I made a big compromise on one dimension to get the rest. I also learned the hard way that my ideal on paper is different than what's actually good for me. So I'm curious for a little more information as to what you are seeking. You also said you were having trouble letting your walls down. This would suggest you are meeting people who are suitable. But then you're not letting them in and they lose interest. So is it that you're having difficulty finding guys who fit your target profile? Or you are find your type of guys, and you're having difficulty connecting with them? Those are two different problems to solve for. Well, you mentioned location in an earlier comment. And that's definitely big. I'm far younger than you. But when I lived in a fairly sizable college town, serious dating was just about impossible. Pair that with the fact that by 37 there is a higher chance that any given male you find is either married or has kids, and your odds don't look so great. I've lived in Chicago, NYC, and LA. And dating was a much more pleasant experience. Just as an option I wanted to throw out there. It is completely fine to be single. You don't need a partner to complete you. You sound like you are completely able to have fun on your own. I'm not telling you to abandon all dating ideas, just something to keep in mind. If you're trying to have kids, you better get acting. Move to an area where men ratio is good for you. Bay Area, etc. Not college town where people are too young. Jobs also good there. Hinge and Bumble for relationship, Tinder for straight sex. Honestly, just out of your text I would marry you. I'm 22 and I can't seem to find a woman like you. My generation seems to be fucked up, not everyone of course but most. You are awesome and I really hope you find someone that is good for you. Try a martial arts class, there are usually significantly more men in them. And if you're into yoga and health you should be able to find someone with some similar interests. You can get a good idea on people from what martial arts they practice, and the dedication/long-term commitment to it, as well as their behavior in class. I would say go with the intent of checking it out, and joining the community if it appeals to you. Pretty sure you would have a number of suitors in such a situation. I was about to suggest this. Become a UFC fan and watch the fights full of guys. I don't have help for you in the dating department. But wow, you did a lot. I'm so in awe of that. How did you find the motivation to do any and all of that? I have no zest for life, it seems. Find it hard to do anything but watch TV in my room. I'd love any advice. Thanks for watching my video.